The night sky glittered as usual, unchanging, eternal. But on this particular evening, Earth was about to learn a truth it wasn't prepared for: it was not alone. Astronomers at the New Earth Observation Facility had long scanned the stars for signs of life. A faint signal, unlike anything before, finally pierced the cosmic silence. But this wasn't the static crackle of a radio transmission or the flash of some coded beacon. Instead, the signal surged with something else entirely: raw emotion. At first, the sensation was subtle. A wave of unexplainable melancholy enveloped the observation team. It wasn't just a feeling, it was shared, as if every person in the room had suddenly stumbled upon a collective grief. No words, no sounds, no pictures. Just sadness. And then it shifted. The team gasped, feeling joy so potent it brought tears to their eyes. Humanity's first contact wasn't verbal. It was emotional. Human curiosity ensured the signal couldn't be ignored. Governments across the globe scrambled to respond. Was it a warning? A trap? Or an invitation? Nations pooled resources to decode the mysterious emotional waves. A specially designed probe, named the Envoy, was launched, carrying an array of translation tools, emotional data recorders, and messages of peace. Months passed before the aliens responded. But when they did, they arrived not in the void of space but on Earth itself. The sky over the Pacific Ocean shimmered, then broke apart like shattered glass. Emerging from the rupture was a ship that defied comprehension. It pulsed, alive, as if grown instead of built. The air around it seemed to ripple with an invisible energy, and for those nearby, an intense, almost overwhelming cocktail of feelings. Fear. Wonder. Curiosity. They called themselves the Sóne. Unlike humans, the Sóne had no voices, no language, no way to transmit thoughts in words. Instead, they projected their emotions directly into the minds of others. For millennia, this had served them well among their kind. But Earth was different. Humans, with their spoken languages and layered, often contradictory emotions, proved almost impossible to interpret. And as humans attempted to engage with the Sóne, misunderstandings quickly escalated. The first direct meeting between humans and the Sóne took place at a secure research facility in Nevada. Scientists, diplomats, and military personnel gathered under strict protocols. The Sóne landed their organic craft nearby. From it emerged beings of shimmering, translucent forms, their bodies glowing faintly with shifting hues that seemed to correspond to their emotions. Initially, all seemed calm. The Sóne emitted waves of curiosity, a sensation that tickled at the edges of the human mind like an invitation. But as the humans attempted to greet them, with cautious words, gestures, and even drawn symbols, an unintended problem arose. Human emotions are complicated. A simple welcome spoken by one diplomat carried undertones of fear, suspicion, and uncertainty. To the Sóne, this was interpreted as hostility. Their response was an overwhelming surge of defensive anger, flooding the room with a near-physical wave of raw, unfiltered rage. Humans panicked. Soldiers raised their weapons. The Sóne, sensing the spike in fear and aggression, amplified their emotional output further, creating a feedback loop of chaos. The meeting dissolved into pandemonium. And though no physical harm came to either side, it became clear that communication would be far more difficult than anyone had anticipated. It was Dr. Elena Ruiz, a cognitive psychologist specializing in nonverbal communication, who proposed a radical solution. If words fail, she argued, we need to meet them on their level. We must use emotions to communicate directly. Her team developed an experimental device called the Emotive Resonance Translator, ERT, designed to read and amplify human emotions into patterns the Sóne could understand. Dr. Elena Ruiz, hailed as the linchpin in the human-Sóne dialogue, faced her own silent battles. As she worked tirelessly on the ERT, she found herself grappling with her own emotional struggles. The loss of her young daughter, Anna, years ago to an accident, had left a void that the Sóne unknowingly touched. During an early emotional exchange, they amplified Elena's grief, unintentionally unearthing suppressed pain. This moment became pivotal, not only for her personal healing but for bridging the emotional chasm between species. It was through her grief that the Sóne began to comprehend the complexity of human resilience. The first test with the ERT was tenuous but promising. Dr. Ruiz projected a focused feeling of calm and curiosity through the device. The Sóne responded with a gentle wave of warmth, signaling understanding. Progress, though slow, had begun. A Sóne emissary's perspective. Among the Sóne, an emissary named Leia emerged as a central figure. Leia's form shimmered with a curiosity that often shifted to uncertainty when confronted with human emotional complexity. Leia's decision to stay on Earth, to embed themselves among humans, was met with resistance from their kind. To the Sóne, emotions were communal, and prolonged exposure to the chaos of human feelings risked destabilization. Leia's courage and growing understanding of human individuality became a bridge, offering insights into why humans acted as they did. But not everyone was pleased with this approach. Politicians and military leaders viewed the Sóne as a potential threat. What if the aliens' ability to manipulate emotions could be weaponized? Distrust simmered, and factions within the human response team began to argue over the next steps. While humans struggled to find unity, the Sóne's purpose for coming to Earth became clearer. Through fragmented emotional exchanges, it was revealed that their species was on the brink of extinction. Their emotional communication, once a strength, had become a weakness in the face of a cosmic plague that attacked their very essence. They had come to Earth seeking empathy, a trait they had lost the ability to fully express on their own. This revelation divided humanity further. Some saw an opportunity for profound collaboration, a chance to save an alien race while advancing human understanding of the universe. Others saw it as a risk too great to bear, fearing the consequences of entangling Earth in an interstellar crisis. A pivotal figure in this growing tension was Captain James Ward, leader of the rogue faction that attacked the Sóne vessel. Haunted by a childhood marred by loss, Ward saw the Sóne not as potential allies but as invaders. His mistrust culminated in the catastrophic assault on their ship. Yet, the despair that followed, an emotion so overwhelming it nearly broke him, forced him to confront his own fears. As Ward grappled with guilt, he became an unlikely advocate for peace, working alongside Dr. Ruiz to mend the rift he had created. The turning point came when a rogue faction of humanity decided to act unilaterally. Believing the Sóne's emotional powers were a direct threat, they launched a surprise attack on the alien vessel. The assault was brief but catastrophic. The Sóne, overwhelmed by the surge of human aggression, retaliated instinctively. Waves of pure despair rippled across continents, plunging entire populations into a temporary but profound depression. It was a stark reminder of the power, and danger, of emotional communication. The incident nearly shattered all hope of peace. In the aftermath of the attack, Dr. Ruiz and a coalition of like-minded individuals worked tirelessly to repair the damage. Using the ERT and new techniques for emotional translation, they initiated a final, high-stakes dialogue with the Sóne. Through this exchange, humanity and the aliens began to forge a fragile understanding. The Sóne taught humans the importance of emotional honesty, of shared experiences beyond words. In turn, humans helped the Sóne rediscover empathy, the missing piece in their emotional spectrum. Together, they created the first interspecies emotional lexicon, a guide for bridging their vastly different modes of communication. Years later, humanity's relationship with the Sóne became a cornerstone of interstellar cooperation. The initial chaos and misunderstanding gave way to a partnership that reshaped both species. Earth began to view emotions not just as personal experiences but as a universal form of connection, a language as powerful as any spoken word.